So you just nailed that job interview, landed a big client, and got promoted at work. But instead of feeling on top of the world, you're secretly worried that they'll find out you're a fraud. Sound familiar? Look at Emma Watson, Lady Gaga, Maisie Williams, Sophia Amoruso, and Maya Angelou. Despite their success, they feel this from time to time. It's called imposter syndrome. You're not alone. Research shows that 70% of people experience imposter syndrome at some point in their lives. Another study finds that 75% of executive women experience imposter syndrome at certain points in their career. That's right, the people that you look up to, your mentors, your boss, your colleagues, your friends, your cats, they may be experiencing imposter syndrome just like you do. Do you have imposter syndrome? Let's be real, I'm not going to tell you how great life is and how you can overcome imposter syndrome, because we all know that it's a struggle. But what if you could turn that nagging self-doubt into a driving force for your growth? To turn imposter syndrome into our superpower, we first need to find out why we feel like a fraud. Are we really a fraud? Maybe we feel like a fraud because we compare ourselves with other people's achievements on social media. It could make us feel like we don't measure up, like we'll never be as good as that person. Maybe we're afraid of success. Success comes with more responsibility and higher expectations from the people around us. So subconsciously, we prefer to doubt our accomplishments to avoid these pressures. Or it could be something else. Picture this. You started learning the guitar and you can play a few simple songs. Feeling like a rock star, you perform for your friends, thinking that you're natural. Meanwhile, an experienced guitarist who knows how complex playing can be might not realize how good they are. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect. It shows how our self-perception can be off, making beginners feel like pros and pros feel like beginners. When you're a beginner at something, you don't know what you don't know. On the flip side, if you doubt your skills, that might be a sign that you're more competent than you think, because you understand that there's always more to learn. So if you fall in this spectrum, you're doing better than you think. Ironically, we should say thank you to our imposter syndrome, because that's where our true potential is. Here's how we can embrace imposter syndrome and turn it into our superpower. I highly recommend you to start a brag file, split it into two: personal accomplishments and professional accomplishments. Write down your past accomplishments for both, no matter how big or small. It's nice to look back at your past and realize how far you've come. This is especially useful when you want to negotiate for promotion, searching for a job, or just pure self-reflection. You see, your manager and your peers will not be tracking your accomplishments as closely as you do. So make it a habit to track your wins in real time before you forget them, because life is full of distractions. And whenever imposter syndrome creeps in, I turn to my humble wall of love filled with kind comments from those who find my content valuable. And if you find this video valuable too, maybe give this video a like. Anyway, make a conscious effort to acknowledge and celebrate your wins. And hey, maybe set a recurring calendar event to revisit your brag file, whatever works for you. Whenever self-doubt arises, rely on evidence and facts. Okay, so imagine you're a scientist, well, unless you really are. Just as scientists use evidence to support or reject a hypothesis, you use evidence to combat your own self-doubt. So you focus on the facts. You challenge your negative thoughts by reframing them with more accurate and positive ones. If we think that, oh, I'm not qualified for this job, use evidence. Look at our abilities, our accomplishments, and experiences objectively. It helps to ground our thinking in reality. The negative thoughts we have about ourselves may not be based on truth. When someone compliments me, I used to respond with a self-deprecating comment like, oh, it's just luck. But I realized that when we do that, we're reinforcing the idea that we don't deserve success. And that is unhealthy. Instead, say thank you. I worked really hard to get to this point. It seems counterintuitive, but by embracing positive feedback, we internalize the idea that we are capable and deserving of our own accomplishments. And when you compare yourself to others on social media, remember that what you see online is not always an accurate reflection of their real life. Most people aren't going to show their struggles and failure on social media. So focus on your own progress. Turn that comparison trap into a source of inspiration for your own goals and interests. Follow accounts that share your own values. And if it gets tough, take a break from social media, turn off push notifications like I did, and subscribe from emails. Okay, when setting goals, I tend to underestimate how much time it takes to accomplish something. So I set unrealistic goals like, oh, I want to complete this design project in a week. It made me anxious. I got caught up in the outcome and I forgot to enjoy the creative process. Since I failed to achieve that goal, I questioned my abilities. But what I should have done was to set realistic goals, taking into consideration the scope, the complexity, and my life commitments. So set a large goal, break it down into smaller ones so it's less overwhelming. Your small goals should be specific and measurable. Instead of setting a goal to get better at design, set a goal to complete a design course by the end of this month. Or set a goal to complete this playlist by Rachel Howe. The more you keep your feelings of imposter syndrome a secret, the stronger that feeling grows and consumes us. And we don't want that. So share how you feel with someone, anyone. You may realize the people you confide in has also felt how you felt in the past. So don't be afraid to reach out and start a conversation. It helps to see imposter syndrome as growth. It keeps you humble and open to learning, and learning boosts your confidence. It can improve your work quality because you self-critique yourself so much and you don't become overconfident. It can drive you to develop new skills, learn new things, and there is always so much more to learn. Imposter syndrome may never go away completely. These talented individuals have experienced imposter syndrome, but that's not all. Despite feeling like a fraud, they continue to pursue their passions and dreams, reminded themselves that making mistakes is part of the learning process. They celebrated their accomplishments, and you can do the same. Because imposter syndrome should not hold you back from reaching your full potential. It propels you forward. If you're struggling to land freelance clients, watch this video to find out what I would do if I had 0 freelance clients when starting out. And I'll see you in that video. Bye!